Norway will complete the delivery of promised F-16 aircraft to Ukraine by 2025, the country's Defense Minister Tore Sandvik said, NRK reports. He recalled that Norway had already handed over some of the aircraft to Ukraine. Other aircraft are being provided to Ukraine according to plan. However, due to concerns about Ukraine's operational security, the exact number of aircraft is not being announced. He also noted that last year the country's government increased support for the Ukrainian Air Force by 1.3 billion Norwegian kroner. With this grant, Norway is contributing to improving Ukraine's air defense in cooperation with other members of the Air Defense Coalition, Sandvik said. Recall, Norway is providing military assistance to Ukraine and has joined the Air Force coalition. Ukraine received its first F-16 fighter jets from its partners in the summer of last year. Initially, this was reported by Western media, and a few days later, the information was confirmed by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. In October of last year, Ukrainian Defense Minister Rustem Umerov announced that Norway would soon deliver 6 F-16s to Ukraine. However, the exact number of fighter jets already provided to Ukrainian defenders remains unknown. It was reported, though, that the jets have already taken part in defending Ukrainian airspace during massive Russian attacks. Additionally, on March 19 of this year, President Volodymyr Zelenskyy stated that a new batch of F-16 fighter jets had arrived in Ukraine. At the beginning of April, NATO Supreme Allied Commander Europe General Christopher Cavalli said that additional F-16s were being prepared for transfer to Ukraine, although he did not specify which country was planning to make the delivery.
Soldiers of the separate presidential brigade named after Hetman Bogdan Khmelnytsky of the Ukrainian ground forces have, for the first time, used a drone equipped with a grenade launcher in combat conditions. A corresponding video was released on the brigade's Telegram channel. First combat use of a drone with a grenade launcher. Novopavlivka direction pilots from the Bulava unit of our brigade's 3rd Mechanized Battalion successfully tested the drone in real combat conditions. The video shows the confirmed elimination of an enemy soldier at timestamp 0034. The caption reads, "The drone, developed by Ukrainian firm Wild Hornets, is designed as a low-cost heavy FPV bomber. It can carry up to 9.5 kilograms over short distances or lighter loads over distances up to 17 kilometers. In its current configuration, the Queen of Hornets is intended to support urban combat, assist assaults, and finish off damaged equipment." Militani notes that the troll footage showed that the drone was armed with a Bulgarian-made Bullspike AP grenade launcher, firing OG 22M fragmentation explosive grenades. These 2-kilogram grenades are designed for hitting enemy personnel, fortifications, and lightly armored vehicles. When detonated, they release over 1,000 fragments and have a direct fire range of about 100 meters. Additionally, the brigade released another video showing not only strikes themselves, but also the design of the modified drone. They also clarified that the combat took place in the Novopavlivka sector of the front line. Kiev Post reached out to Ukrainian military personnel for insight into this battlefield innovation and its potential impact. A Ukrainian reconnaissance drone operator with the Unmanned Systems Forces, call sign Diego Rodriguez, told Kiev Post, "I don't understand why this wasn't done earlier and why it isn't being used on a mass scale already. It absolutely should be." Rodriguez said the technical advantage of these drones is that a grenade launcher delivers faster and more precise hits compared to first-person view drones. Logically, a drone like this can fly in fire, turnaround, and reload. It's already effective. A grenade launcher round flies faster than any FPV drone, so the accuracy is higher. You can strike from farther away and face fewer electronic warfare countermeasures. He also said there's a key tactical difference. Kamikaze drones are loud and visible, giving Russian troops time to react. But a grenade round arrives almost instantly. You can't dodge it. That means more accurate hits. Among Ukraine's defense forces, there is arguably one of the most unusual units, the Brotherhood Battalion. Oleksiy Borgis-Serdyuk, the commander of the Brotherhood Battalion of Ukraine's Defense Intelligence, told RBC Ukraine about daring operations in Crimea, Enerhodar, and enemy rear areas, as well as whether miracles happen in war and the losses among the military elite. One of the riskiest and most mystic operations was the landing on temporarily occupied Crimean territory. The mission was clear: strike the enemy's radar hub on the coastline. But the path was far from simple. Over 100 kilometers of open sea. It's very important that the fighters are capable of carrying out a given task. The fighters I have, these were the ones who could do it. That's the main and honestly the hardest thing when it comes to combat tasks, being certain that your people can do it. The commander explains. When the fighters were escaping and enemy ships were closing in, a fog appeared, and when they got far enough away, the signal returned. GPS started working. The fog lifted. The sky was clear. The sun rose. The sea was calm. And just as they reached shore, a massive thunderstorm hit. I looked at all of it and thought, God, what a miracle. They had just landed, barely an hour passed. I mean, these are miracles, the Ukrainian military says confidently. According to the commander, landings like the one in occupied Crimea are highly demonstrative and have a psychological impact. They boost morale for Ukrainians and demoralize the enemy. After we operated there, the enemy began deploying significant forces to defend their coastline. Borges explains. The commander shares that the Brotherhood has carried out numerous sabotage missions deep behind enemy lines where each operation needed meticulous planning. You can't just count on luck. When we landed near Enerhodar, we saw Russian observation posts where the machine gunners were stationed. It was impossible to sneak up. They had a lot of people, but at that moment they were asleep. If they had woken up, we'd all be dead. But miracles happen, and they happen regularly. Still, you can't always count on miracles, the commander believes. Fighters of the Brotherhood Battalion also fought near Kupiansk, Enerhodar, and in the Kursk region. In Pokrovsk, the defensive lines were excellent. So good that while we were there, we felt very confident. They had very solid trenches, strong bunkers, strong pillboxes, the Ukrainian military notes. Currently, operations are continuing behind enemy lines and new surprises are expected for the Russians.